I want to go back to how this happened, which was in a ProAM event over the weekend. We've been seeing a lot more of this from current players in the NBA playing with other current players, some former players, and even some average Joes. Bill, in a second, I want your take on what you're hearing around the league about what teams and how teams feel about this. But Avery, as a former player and a former coach, how do you feel about it?
Well, in terms of playing in summer leagues, I played in summer leagues all across the country during my prime of my career. You know, one of the reasons I moved to Houston, Texas, because there was a gym called Findy Recreation Center where we played our summer league games. And each summer league team that consisted of 10 players, you know, 7 or 8 were pros, guys that were currently in the NBA. And that was some of the best run and ways to stay in shape in the off season. And then we would transition to Los Angeles, and then we would play in Vegas, and then we would play in New York. So again, play a little bit in Dallas. So we played all over the country. Now, we didn't play when the conditions weren't healthy. If the court was too slippery, or if the gym was 120 degrees, no, we weren't going to play. If we played with, you know, maybe some guys that were just seriously trying to injure players to prove non-NBA players that were just trying to prove that they should play in the NBA, we weren't going to play. But this was a way to stay in shape because we love the game of basketball. Obviously, I don't know exact conditions just from what we've been told of why they canceled the games in Seattle. But in terms of staying in shape, this was a major part of our conditioning in the off season, playing in summer league games to go along with the strength training, fundamental training, swimming in the pool, lifting weights. This was a major part of it, but not when you're in conditions that are unsafe.
Yeah, and I can certainly just give the perspective from folks in front offices around the league who do keep a weary eye on these situations, but understand, as Coach just said, guys are going to hoop. And if you talk to any GM, any person who evaluates talent for a living, from the lowest scout all the way to the top of an organization, they want people, they really do, who love basketball, who love to be in the gym, who love the game. And guys who love the game that play professional basketball are going to play basketball year-round. That is a given. It's the conditions, as Avery talked about, that are critical. And if the reports out there are true, that the reason that particular game had to be canceled in the second quarter is because there was moisture on the floor and the conditions weren't appropriate, I think it just reinforces for people around the NBA that guys are going to play, but they've got to be really particular. As Avery just walked us through, all the scenarios where maybe you just have to say to yourself, this isn't the right spot. Now, to be fair to Chet Holmgren, and I think the difficult situation for the Thunder, if you're a young guy trying to prove himself in the NBA and LeBron James, among others, wants you to be part of hooping together in the offseason, you're not going to say no. So there might be some conversations, guys, from front offices, as I understand it, to people around the league. The obvious stuff to guys, have a good summer, have a good offseason, do your thing. Let's just remember the Holmgren thing and be careful. Let's just make sure when you're doing your thing, you're doing it in places and with people where the situation's optimal so you don't get hurt.
And the last thing I want to say is, you know, guys that love to play in these summer league games, and you're playing and you're traveling from LA, Las Vegas, Seattle, playing in these games, can we please reduce some of this load management stuff in the regular season? If you can play in all these games and you're traveling around, let's start playing in more NBA games instead of, you know, load management for 15 games. You know, I played in 82 games for 4 years in a row or more, and I wasn't feeling good every night. Let's play in the games. Fans pay money to see you play and not to load manage.
Avery Johnson, load management is a load of blank, right? Avery Johnson and Bill Reiter with us here on CBS Sports HQ. Chet Holmgren out for the season with a Liz Frank injury. We look at the upcoming dates in the NBA. Hall of Fame weekend is in a couple of weeks. Training camps will open in about a month. The regular season is just a little more than a month away, 8 weeks or thereabouts.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment. Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.